Alvin Kamara out tonight. Don't look now, but the Washington football team nipping at the Cowboys' heels, just 2 games behind them.
I'm sorry.
Can I finish?
This is what he wanted.
Can I finish?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just need to admit to America, though, when I was reading that and I was like, 6-1. Now lost 3 of the last. I was like, damn it, this guy. The month of November and these Cowboys. Well, now it's December. Okay, Dan.
He controls it.
Should Dallas be worried about Washington in all seriousness?
I think, first of all, Dallas should be worried about themselves and their performance over the last month.
Right.
But, yeah, they should be worried about Washington, and they should be worried about Philadelphia as well. Molly, you just laid it out. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games.
Yeah.
Now, Washington has won 3 in a row. Now, why has that happened for Washington, I think, is what Dallas should be paying attention to. Number 1, little Tony Romo. Taylor Heineke is balling. Okay, in his last 3 games, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He is playing good football and like clutch football. I think number 2, Curtis Samuel coming back and being healthy for this Washington offense helps. I would love to watch the Terry McLaurin versus Trayvon Diggs matchup. I'm such a Terry McLaurin fan. I'd actually think he would win that matchup. But I think more importantly, this defense is giving up less than 20 points per game in the last 5 weeks. This was a defense that I certainly thought was going to be one of the best in the NFL. In the first month of the season, they did not play that way. They are starting to play like the defense I thought they were going to be. Again, last 5 games, less than 20 points per game. They are playing very good football. I think offensively, they do a great job of owning the football. If you look at their last month, their time of possession per game is like plus 17, plus 18, plus 11, plus 23. That's unheard of in the NFL. So if we're just looking at the Washington football team and going, okay, offensively, they're owning the football. They're going on long, methodical drives. The quarterback is playing clutch. McLaurin's balling. Curtis Samuel's back. Logan Thomas is good. And then their defense is starting to play the way that we thought they were going to play. Heck yeah, the Cowboys have to pay attention to the Washington football team. And I'm not going to discount the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they played so poorly last week.
Hey, Dan, I appreciate that breakdown, man. Thank you so much. I mean, you make me smile, my brother. You make me smile. I'm just so happy that you just broke that down with your level of expertise. Because, first of all, my answer would be no, the Cowboys don't have anything to worry about. Because you damn well better not have something to worry about. Let me get this straight. I just want to make sure that I'm very, very clear about this with the Cowboys.
No.
So we got one team that's 1 game under 500, and the other team that's 2 games under 500, and you the Dallas Cowboys, a Super Bowl contender, Jerry's World, with the new, kind of quarterback with the big contract, with all of those stars, circulating and sifting throughout the organization, and you have to worry about a team with no name. And the Philadelphia Eagles? Really? Y'all are making me laugh. I mean, this is hilarious. If the Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles are a threat to the Dallas Cowboys, all it does is validate what I've been saying all year. Just be patient. Just be patient. Don't worry about it. Just wait. They will find a way to mess it up because there's nothing else that can happen to them to prevent them from winning the NFC East other than them messing it up for themselves. I still got Dak Prescott. Michael Gallup's back. CeeDee Lamb will be back. Mm-hmm. Okay, Amari Cooper's going to come back tonight. All right. Ezekiel Elliott is getting rest. Mm-hmm. Tony Pollard has elevated his level of play. Micah Parsons, the rookie. Yep. This brother is a monster. This brother can ball. Okay? Worthy of being that first-round pick that the Cowboys spent on him. Trayvon Diggs. It ain't just Stephon Diggs. It's his brother. And by the way, both of them were Defensive Player of the Year candidates by week 7. Yeah. And here we are talking about the Dallas Cowboys, who were 7-1. And now you've lost 3 straight. And we worried about a team with a muffler as a quarterback with no name.
He called him young Tony Romo.
Listen, young Tony Romo.
Let me say this to you.
He said a muffler, man.
But let me say this. I'm just having fun, Dan. I'm just having fun. I know. I like Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke, if you watch it, it's just the only reason I call you muffler is because your last name, my brother. I like Taylor Heineke, and I'm rooting for him. I like the kid. I like what he did at Tampa again in the postseason, and I also like what he's been doing over these last last 3 games with the 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception. I like his moxie. I like his courage. He ain't scared. He embraces the challenge. And I think with Ron Rivera, who I'm very fond of, not just as a coach, but as a person, I think he's a beautiful human being. I think they're climbing. But there is no reason why they should be a threat to the Cowboys.
All right.
Cowboys got to play better. They got to play better.
Okay.
3 out of the last 4 weeks, they have not played well.
Dan, we got to go to break. I just want to point out, these teams have not played over the next month. They play twice head-to-head. I need a yes or no answer. Does Dallas take both of those?
No.
Dallas versus Washington?
Yes.
You're going to lose one of them.
I agree with Stephen A. I think Dallas loses 1.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.